What's going on, good people? You now tuned into the other side of sports. Your host Laws, and y'all know why we're here. People hitting my inbox want to know what we got to say about these sexual harassment for the 15 former Redskins and female employees coming out. Washington Post article detailing all these events that occurred with the just the culture there at Washington Redskins Park, and Joan is crazy. A lot of people are coming out. You hear them on the radio. They talking about just how bad this is and how terrible it is, and all of that. It is bad and it is terrible. But I just want to, if y'all didn't know, this culture is pervasive in the NFL. You can go down the list of all the teams and find these behaviors happening in these institutions. Cheerleaders, the whole thing with when you think about just here in Washington, 2018, they had a situation with the cheerleaders being asked to pose nude and topless and fraternize with executives and different people. It's crazy, it's crazy. But if people don't think that this is not a culture that's league wide, and it's not just in at the Redskins, and I'm not absolving the Redskins. I'm not even saying they're not at fault and anything like that. I'm just pointing out that this is something that's common within the league. Real talk, it seems like they trying to get Dan out of there. A lot of people in this area do not like Dan Snyder, and by any means necessary, whatever can push him out the door, that's it. That just seems to be the method that people are trying to go with. This story, this is nothing new. We knew these things were happening behind the scenes. Why did it didn't push him out the door then? So if it didn't push him out the door then, I doubt very seriously that it'll push him out the door now. And I know that you have a name change, you have this now adding the way the media cites it, like, oh, young Monday morning, we got something for y'all. It's gonna be crazy. It's not just about the name change and all like this, and then to get it here, and for people to just like almost feel a sense of disappointment. It's like, there should be outrage over this, but I feel like it's disingenuous because these are things that have been happening, been going on. They did a report for, I don't know how long this investigation has been going on by the Washington Post, but they came out with the information. Before they came out with the jump, NDAs were signed. So if they got NDAs signed for 14 out of the 15 people, they were already on top of this. When they let Alex Santos, cold pervert type Bama, they let him go. They let Richard Mann, they let him go. Not a word. Right? They got NDAs in the mix. I've reached out, what I'm saying? We report, we on the scene, we reached out. I've reached out to cheerleaders, I've reached out, not a peep. I'm not getting no response. Right? And it seems like Dan has good a job, and their whole staff has done a great job at closing, any loose ends and kind of, tying this off. But there's no way you can convince me that these only two Bama's was involved and then Larry Michaels. Stop it. Stop it, people. It's much deeper than that. I know that he hired Beth Wilkerson to come in, who's a lawyer, not an investigator, mind you, a lawyer to come in and try to sort through this stuff. So, even that's a little suspect to me. The league has come out with a statement, but go down the list, young. Jerry Jones and them, and I'm not even going at the Cowboys fans. This is a culture that's pervasive in the league. But Jerry Jones told his cheerleaders they got to change their gear up. They got to put on halter tops and mini skirts. The Texans have former Texas cheerleaders suing the organization for low wages and treatment, how they was being told to fraternize with people there, take them into the executive suites and all that stuff. So, it's happening around the league, and it's unfortunate, and it needs to stop. And I know that people want Dan to leave off of this, but I just don't see this being enough to kind of push him out the door. And that's just flat out what it is. I mean, some people think there's rumors that, Bezos is behind the scenes trying to drum this up, put these articles out and kind of put the press, maybe to drive the price down for the cost of the team, or to try to get the team out of Dan's hands to purchase the team. That could be possibly true. Because, I mean, the Washington Post, they went hard body, dog. They had like 5 articles all geared to this whole subject, all within 24 hours, young. They had a article with the former employees. Then they had a follow-up article to what does this mean? And then some other article kind of detailing more issues revolving around the name. And then, so to me, I mean, everybody knows that Jeff Bezos owns the Washington Post. And so they got the team in the crosshairs. And I mean, I know people want Dan out of there, but I just don't think this is going to happen. Because real talk, if it was going to happen, it should have happened years ago for the same thing. This is not something like, to me, this is not something that was like, oh, like shut the whole world down. The way that it was being reported, like this is going to just be the death blow. It's not. And so for me, I think there's much more to be uncovered. I think there's more people involved. I think it's much more pervasive than even what people are like, insinuating from the evidence that was captured in the Washington Post report. I think it was more than that. I think it's much more going on. I think this is just indicative of what the culture of, male-dominated spaces with powerful males at the forefront. It's happening at ESPN. It's happening. You can go down the list. So you look at Robert Kraft, that bam up the street. He messing down south in bordellos and all kind of crazy type stuff. And this bama just walking around. Did they take his franchise from him? And it was considered, sex trafficking was in alignment with that. So this bama still walking around scot-free. So I mean, at the end of the day, that's not enough to get the team out of Dan Snyder's hands. I mean, it's just not enough. And it's unfortunate that something that people should be outraged about is not enough to actually change things. Unless it impacts the money and touches the bread, then people in those positions don't really care. And I know from a PR standpoint, it looks terrible for the Washington Redskins. So I'm saying, like, overall, it may be driving the value of the franchise, from a selling standpoint down. But at the same time, it's like people are dug in on the skin. So they're dug in on the name. A lot of people don't want the name changed. It's just crazy out here. But yeah, so we'll keep following it closely. Let us know what you think about this whole situation. What are your thoughts? Is this enough to get Dan Snyder out of there, or if it's just par for the course? Because, I mean, like I said, I don't think this is enough. If it was enough, it would have been enough in 2018, all that stuff. Bruce Allen, does he have a hand in this, Joe? I'm sure he probably, if the girl, she claimed that he was sitting down, 20 feet away from her and she was crying every day. Either he was involved in the Joe, or he just cold-hearted and didn't care. So, which are both terrible. So I don't know, yeah. I don't know where we go from here, but we're gonna see. Follow us at OSS 980, Other Side of Sports. Every Wednesday, new podcast up. We out.